The new iPad Pro 2024 is a big deal. Announced during Apple's Let Loose event, the new iPad Pro now has a thinner design than its predecessor along with an OLED display and the Apple M4 chip. The latter is noteworthy not only because of Apple's claims about its performance and efficiency boosts, but its AI capabilities. I briefly went hands-on with the 13-inch iPad Pro 2024 and was impressed by Apple's premium tablet. The lighter weight and thinner profile immediately stood out. This isn't the big and bulky iPad Pro of old. In fact, I want to call this the iPad Pro Air because of how light it feels. The new OLED display also impresses with 2:1 contrast ratio as the stark blacks and whites left my jaw on the floor. Also jaw-dropping is the price. The iPad Pro starts at $200 more for both sizes versus the previous generation. Based on what Apple has said about the iPad Pro 2024 and my time with the device, the company's tablet seems poised to be a winner. The thinner design, OLED panel, and the promised performance of M4 could make this one of the best tablets yet. The new iPad Pro launches May 15 with pre-orders available today. The iPad Pro starts at $999 and features an 11-inch Ultra Retina XDR display, 256GB of storage, Wi-Fi connectivity, and an M4 chip, packing a 9-core CPU and 10-core GPU. That's $200 more than the $799 starting price for the M2 iPad Pro. If you want a model with nano texture glass, you will need to upgrade to at least 1TB, which runs the cost up to $1,699. Adding Wi-Fi plus cellular costs an additional $200. Then we have the 13-inch iPad Pro, which starts at $1,299. This model features a 13-inch Ultra Retina XDR display, 256GB of storage, Wi-Fi connectivity, and M4 chip, packaging a 9-core CPU and 10-core GPU. Like the 11-inch model, you will need to upgrade to 1TB to get a nano texture glass display. Note that models with 256GB and 512GB of storage have M4 chips with a 9-core CPU and 10-core GPU. Configurations with 1TB and 2TB of storage have an M4 chip with 10-core CPUs and 10 GPU cores. Lastly, there are the peripherals. The new Apple Pencil Pro costs $129, while the Apple Magic Keyboard for iPad Pro will set you back $299 for the 11-inch model of $349 for the 13-inch variety. Apple didn't bump up the entry-level price of the iPad Pro M4, which is appreciated. Unfortunately, you will have to spend a lot of cash for nano texture glass since you can only get it with models packing 1TB or 2TB of storage. Apple emphasizes that the new iPad Pro isn't a redesign but an all-new model. Though it looks like a regular iPad Pro at first glance, actually holding it in your hands reveals that Apple isn't misleading us. This is indeed a brand new iPad Pro and its design is absolutely fantastic. I have used the iPad Pro M2 since it launched and immediately noticed the difference when I held the new iPad Pro. The slate is so thin and light that I could almost mistake it for the 13-inch iPad Air 2024. This 13-inch tablet weighs 1.28 pounds but feels lighter thanks to its excellent weight distribution. The other big change from the previous model is that the front camera is now landscape oriented instead of portrait oriented. Most people use tablets in landscape mode, so it's great that Apple finally moved the front camera. Not only will this help keep you centered during video calls, but should also make using Face ID easier. I'm a fan of the repositioned front camera. People have been clamoring for an OLED iPad Pro for ages and now it's finally here. The new design is nice, but the Ultra Retina XDR display could arguably be the tablet's biggest selling point for some people. It's really quite striking. We'll need to get the iPad Pro into our testing lab to see if it can indeed hit the 1000 nits of standard brightness and 1600 nits of HDR brightness Apple claims. To my eyes, the screen is both bright and colorful. The contrast between dark and light elements is astonishing, delivering beautiful photos and videos. I am a professional reviewer, but even I have a hard time conveying just how good the iPad Pro's OLED display appears. This is arguably the best OLED display I have ever seen on a tablet. You need to see it to believe it. Instead of an M3 chip, like many expected, the iPad Pro runs on the new Apple M4 chip. This slice of Apple silicon utilizes the latest 3nm technology, which means it can cram more functionality into the same space. This is why the company can make a thinner iPad Pro without sacrificing performance. The M4 is a system on a chip with 10-core CPU, 10-core GPU, and a neural engine, which the rest of the industry calls an NPU. Apple claims its GPU builds on architecture first introduced in the M3. Because of that, M4 brings hardware accelerated mesh shading, ray tracing, and dynamic caching to the iPad platform for the first time. This should result in improved performance for games and rendering tasks. The performance of an NPU and its usefulness as an AI device is measured in TOPS. Apple's new M4 neural engine comes at 38 TOPS. To give you a sense of comparison, the new Intel Core Ultra chips sport NPUs that typically deliver 10 to 11 TOPS, while Qualcomm has claimed the new Snapdragon X Lite sport NPUs capable of 45 TOPS. Of course, the numbers matter a lot less than whether or not you can see the results on the screen. During my time with the iPad Pro, there weren't any demos of AI images being generated, but I did see Diablo 4 running on the tablet. The ray-traced reflections and numerous particle effects made the hellish world come to life. Better yet is that the game ran silky smooth without a hint of slowdown. Demos featuring rendering apps like Octane also impressed me with how effortlessly you can manipulate 3D images in real time. We'll have a clearer picture of what the M4 chip can do once we have run it through our gauntlet of battery tests. But based on what I have seen, I don't think we'll be disappointed by the results. The M4 chip should be a beast of a processor. To get the most out of the iPad Pro, you'll need its two main accessories, the Apple Magic Keyboard and Apple Pencil. Thankfully, both have received updated versions that enhance the iPad Pro experience. The Magic Keyboard, its palm rests and touchpad now have an aluminum finish that's reminiscent of MacBook. Similarly, the larger touchpad also reminds me of an Apple laptop, as does the new Magic Keyboard's flatter hinge. As a bonus, this peripheral feels lighter than before and doesn't add a lot of weight to the iPad Pro. The Apple Pencil Pro, as it's called, looks and feels like the Apple Pencil 2, but it's some nifty features that make it more useful. This includes rollover to intelligently switch pen styles, haptic feedback, and squeeze to control the input in newer ways. The new barrel roll feature is particularly impressive since you can change a line's thickness by twisting the pen's orientation. I will need more time with the iPad Pro M4 to make a final determination, but right now I think it might be the tablet to beat for power users. The tablet ticks all the right boxes, including a slimmer and lighter design, a powerful processor, and a gorgeous OLED panel. Are all these upgrades worth an extra $200 too? I'll have a full iPad M4 Pro review for you soon, so stay tuned.